Good day, everyone. I am Ria Jean Haguyahay. We are the Group 7, and today we are going to talk about the 21st century skills categories. But before that, let me first introduce to you our objectives. At the end of the lesson, the students should be able to first explain in their own words the categories of 21st century skills. Second, relate the importance of knowing the 21st century skills categories in real-life situations by citing examples. And third, apply the categories of 21st century skills by designing a class activity or strategy with an end goal of attaining the 21st century skills. Let's begin our discussion with an activity. Each group will brainstorm about a topic on 21st century skills category assigned to them. The group will synthesize their consolidated ideas and present the synthesis to the class. The topics assigned in each group are the following: Groups 1 and 2, Life and Career Skills; Group 3 and 4, Information, Media and Technology Skills; Group 5, 6, and 7, Learning and Innovation Skills. I will give you 2 minutes to do the activity. Time starts now. Now, we will proceed to the presentation. Let's start with Group 1. Thank you so much. Last time, we talked about functional literacy and 21st century literary skills. Before proceeding to the 21st century skills categories, let us define first what is 21st century skills. 21st century skills refers to a broad set of knowledge, skills, work habits, and traits which are necessary in coping with today's world and future careers and workplace. For example, students nowadays need to be ICT literate because our society now are technology driven. Based on our past discussions, aside from learning the basic skills of reading, writing, and numeracy, students should develop life and work skills, and these are the 21st century skills. And if you will not acquire these skills, then you may be left behind in this complex, competitive, and technology-driven society. Moving forward, what do you mean by category? Category means a class or a group that possess some quality or qualities in common. For example, in plants, we can group them as flowering plants and non-flowering plants. The 21st century skills, which encompasses a wide array of a body of knowledge and skills, needs to be categorized. So these are divided into 3 categories in such a way that each skills are similar to each other. The first category is learning and innovation skills. What do you think this category means? And give an example. Learning and innovation skills are the skills or attributes that will set students who are prepared for this ever-changing world and the workforce, and those who are not. Because teachers of today are preparing students for the future, learning is a must. Just like us, we are teachers on training, so we must learn for us to be ready in our career in the future. Not only that, students also have to be innovative and creative problem solvers. Teachers or parents will not be there for us or for the students in the future assisting in their respective jobs. So if we will not teach them how to learn and solve problems, we will be doing them a disfavor. Moreover, students also need to know how to work together to solve problems. A focus on critical thinking, creativity, communication, and collaboration is essential to prepare students in the future. Under the category of learning and innovation skills, the first one is critical thinking and problem solving. What is critical thinking and problem solving? Critical thinking and problem solving means effectively analyzing and evaluating evidence, arguments, claims, and beliefs, and solving different kinds of non-familiar problems. For example, today, we are flooded by information because of technologies, and we students need a guide to assess this information and need to develop and effectively apply critical thinking skills to our academic studies, to the complex problems that we will face, and the critical choices we are going to make in the future. So students need to know how to first work together effectively in team, reason effectively, make judgments and decisions, and solve problems. So what do you mean by work together effectively in team? Thank you for your answers. For us to be able to cope up in today's world and in our career in the future, we must learn, or the students must learn, how to work with others and to identify problems and to solve this cooperatively. For example, if you become a teacher, you need to work with your co-teachers to address some problems, or you need to work with them in order to be successful if you are given a certain task to do or an activity in school. We also need to reason effectively based on the best analysis and not act according to our emotions. We cannot deny that a lot of conflict happens in a workplace, and even teachers may have misunderstanding with their co-teachers or with the parents. So way back in high school, there was a very angry parent who approached our teacher, yelled at her, and say things that is not appropriate. Despite the behavior of the parent, our teacher remained calm and tried her best to make the parent calm as well and to settle the problem professionally. I realized that if our teacher did not learn how to think critically and to make decisions, it will cause chaos. So, it is really important to teach students to think critically in solving problems, because if students learn to think critically, they can use good thinking as the guide by which they live their lives.
Good day, everyone. I am Princess Dayan Rosit, and now let's move on to the next learning skill, which is the collaboration. Collaboration, it entails demonstrating an ability to work effectively with others' diverse team. Like for example, Miss Haguyahay's groupmate were working cooperatively in their tasks as she distributes the agreed roles of each members. So collaboration, it is defined as a situation in which two or more people learn or attempt to learn something together, in which an individual engage himself or herself in a group for a collaborative learning. Collaboration, it helps the learners elaborate and organize their ideas and shared understanding. Like for example, me and my groupmates in research share our different ideas to what would be the title of our research. Establish a clear definitions and agreements on the roles of partners in the collaborative process to avoid misunderstanding of the group. Now, let's move on to the creativity and innovation skills. But first, let's define what is creativity and what is innovation. So, creativity means it's like bringing about new things and ideas. While innovation, it's more likely a product of a person's creativity. Creativity and innovation, it denotes the use of wide range of idea and creation to techniques to create new and worthwhile ideas. Like for example, a teacher asks her students to make a self-made journal that reflects their personality. In this project, the teacher can see how creative her students are in experimenting, imaginative, and make use of their own critical thinking skills. Creativity and innovation is helping the learner's mind to explore and think of a concept that excites them. Creativity and innovation works effectively if the learners communicate with others and use their wide range of ideas to create a concept. Now let's move on to the last learning skill, which is communication. Communication, this pertains to articulating thoughts and ideas effectively using oral and written communication skills in a variety of forms and contexts. Like for example, the BTVT Ed and BEd students were making a persuasive speech video about the pros and cons of the vaccine as their requirement for the midterm exam. By this, student is transferring an information about their thoughts through speaking, facial expression, and their gestures as they convey their message. When we communicate, we are trying to find or establish some commonness to that person. Communication, it is either an individual trying to communicate through writing, speaking, gesturing, or drawing. Like for example, our research teacher in BEd class informed us about the proposal of our research this coming Thursday through message. The great skill of communication lies in a person on how he or she has the capacity to communicate well with other people. In order for us to communicate effectively, listen carefully and try to understand the meaning and intention of the message.
Good day, everyone. Happy Thursday. I am Dainilin Bita Bucanon, your third facilitator for this day. And my topic is all about the second category in the 21st century skills, which is the literacy skills. But before that, what is literacy skills? When you say literacy skills, it is the ability to read and write. But in this 21st century, literacy increasingly reflected the ability to use technology for gathering and communicating information. So reading skills in our everyday life. So it's not just about the articles, the newspapers that require literacy, but also the signs, the labels, and the messages on your phone. The same goes for writing. Nowadays, even phone calls have given way to instant messaging and text-based communication, making the ability to read all the information. The first 21st century literacy skills is the information literacy. Information literacy is the ability to recognize
when information is needed, and to locate, to evaluate, and effectively communicate information in its various formats. An information literate person can recognize, can locate, evaluate, and communicate information. Recognize means having the ability to identify information when needed and to use it efficiently. So this is evident when you know exactly what specific information you are looking for. Locate, you must find reliable sources of information or locate them when needed. So evaluate also means having the ability to assess whether the information is true or fake. So in locating reliable resources, you must also evaluate information and its reliability, because as of now there are information that are not true or fake. Communicate information. When I say communicate, means having the ability to share information effectively. From the information you gather, you must have the competence to share or communicate information. This is so comparable. Lady Ray knew that it is not right to copy the work of an author without consent, so Lady Ray sent an email to ask for permission. And Lady Ray is an information literate person. The second 21st century literacy skills is the media literacy. Media literacy is the ability to access, to analyze, evaluate, and create media in a variety of forms. To access means you are being able to recognize the media needed and its availability for your use. For example, in a post-class, you are instructed by your teacher to look for an example of a book review for your movie assignment. What media will you use? You should go look for a book on the internet or in newspapers. By analyzing and evaluating means the ability to think critically about the accuracy, the credibility, or evidence of bias in the content presented in various media. This happened when Miss Donna comes across desired information or shocking news on her Facebook. First, he checked the source of the information and sees if it is formerly reliable source and verify its content for further research. Create means being able to use media tools to produce media content. This can be applied to Miss Dialane's ability to create a video using the proper visual principles. For example, Angel is aware of how media influences individuals. That is why she doesn't let her 3-year-old brother to watch violent theme movies and television shows. Angel is a media literate person. The last 21st century literacy skills is the technology literacy. When we say technology literacy, it is the ability of an individual either working independently or with others to use technological tools responsibly, appropriately, and effectively. A technology literate person is skillful, knowledgeable, and engaged in online activities. Skillful means being able to use digital tools. You must be skillful in the use of digital tools. For example, students who possess technology literacy are able to easily utilize a variety of digital devices like computers, smartphones, and tablets for them to communicate and solve problems in their academic.
Good day everyone, I am Florence Hamulong and together with me is Miss Donna Joy Silverio. Now, we will discuss the last category, which is the life skills. But before that, let me ask a question. What do you mean by life skills? Can you give me example? So life skills are abilities for adaptive and positive behavior that enables humans to deal effectively with the demands and challenges of life. So for example of life skills are decision making and problem solving. So this describes the skills required to understand problems, find solution to them, and then take action to address them. Life skills is the final category. So this is also called flips. So these skills all pertain to someone's personal life, but they also bleed into professional settings. So the 5 21st century life skills are flexibility, leadership, initiative, productivity, and social skills. The first skill under the life skills is flexibility. Flexibility is deviating from plans as needed. Flexibility is the expression of someone's ability to adapt to changing circumstances. This flexibility skill focuses on a student's ability to be adaptable, to improvise, and to shift approaches to meet different kinds of challenges. So for example, a student with strong flexibility skill will easily adapt to a change in a classroom routine such as a set change or a schedule interruption. A student who struggles with flexibility may have a hard time to adjusting in these changes, which can often impact classroom performance. As one of the most important 21st century skills, children who learn how to be flexible are more likely to grasp lessons with greater ease, communicate effectively, and manage time efficiently. When children who learn the importance of flexibility grow into adults who are naturally more flexible, they will be more attractive job candidates, team members, managers, and leaders. The next skill is leadership. So what comes in your mind when you hear the word leadership? Leadership is someone pensioned for setting goals, walking a team through the steps required, and achieving those goals collaboratively. As a leader, one must relentlessly motivate and encourage of the group to do well and inspire them to become the better version of themselves. Leadership is not just aiming for the fruit of success, but it is aiming of a success and bringing the whole team toward it. So for example is taking a lead role in a school project. So that is one of a great example of leadership. So leadership plays an important role in every aspect of a student's life because students go through many changes in life for career development where they need leadership skills. In the modern world, students are facing many career challenges, employment problems, and conflicts between idealism and beneficial. So that's why they need leadership skills to accept challenges, solve problems, and analyze career direction.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Donna Giselle Verio, and for the continuation, I will be going to discuss about the initiative and self-direction, productivity and accountability, social and cross-cultural skills. Now, let's talk first the initiative and self-direction. So we have 4 skills under this. The first one is manage goals and time. This includes setting goals with tangible and intangible success criteria. It is also involves balancing tactical or the short term and strategic with the long-term goals. Moreover, it implies being able to utilize time and manage workload efficiently. It is common for 21st century workers to do multitasking where one takes on different work, roles, and responsibilities at the same time. This is even more true in your life as a teacher. You are facilitator of learning in your classroom, counselor for your students, and sometimes colleagues while you do administrative reports needed in your classroom and school. Alongside these teaching roles, you also have a role to play in your family. as a wife or husband, or a daughter or son. All this will eat up a chunk of your time, and you must learn how to manage your time wisely between personal life and teaching life. Second one is work independently. Exercising initiative and self-directions implies the ability to work without the assistance of others. While working with other people and in teams is also important in life and at work, there are occasions when you will need to be confident in working independently and in no need of someone else's help. This also means being able to monitor, define, prioritize, and complete tasks without direct oversight. The third one, be self-directed learner. Being self-directed learning is a process in which individuals take the initiative with or without the help of others in diagnosing their learning needs, formulating learning goals, identifying human and material resources for learning, choosing and implementing appropriate learning strategies, and evaluating learning outcomes. For example, let's take a self-directed learning in an informal setting. Who wants to learn how to play guitar? Perhaps she was originally inspired by observation of her favorite guitarist. And the last one under the initiative and self-direction is be responsible to others. Being responsible means being dependable, keeping promises, and honoring our commitments. It is accepting the consequences for what we say and do. It is also means developing our potential. People who are responsible don't make excuses for their actions or blame others when things go wrong. And now, let's proceed to the next life skills, which is the productivity and accountability. So under this, we have managing projects, which is managing own work with ownership by setting goals, even in the face of obstacles and competing pressures. Prioritize, plan, and manage work to achieve the intended result. The second one is produce results, demonstrating additional attributes such as working positively, efficiently, and ethically, collaborate and cooperate effectively with teams, respect and appreciate team diversity, be accountable for results. So productivity is important since it is the way in which success and failure are established in the working world. Being productive means being able to produce something of a certain quality with a given time frame. Accountability is equally important since it is how we are assessed on productivity in the working world. People are held accountable for the actions they take to complete tasks. And now, let's proceed to the last life skills, which is the social and cross-cultural skills. So, as a future teacher in 21st century, it is important for you to develop social and cross-cultural skills, described as the ability to effectively interact with others in diverse groups and situations. Here are the ways to develop social and cross-cultural skills. First, interact effectively with others. Know when it is appropriate to listen and when to speak. Communication skills play an important part in your daily life and in your life as a teacher. Being able to listen well to your students, colleagues, school head, friends, and family is necessary if you want them to listen to you as well when you speak. In the classroom, knowing when to talk and when to listen can provide both you and your students with a harmonious relationship that will lead to effective learning. Conducting yourself in a professional manner also brings in respect from your colleagues and students. This includes dressing appropriately, being well-mannered, using appropriate language, and having social etiquette. The second one, Work effectively in diverse teams. Respecting cultural differences and working effectively with people from different socio-cultural backgrounds have something to do with how you work effectively in diverse group and diverse situations. One cannot work well and coexist peaceably with one another without respecting and being respected in return. Therefore, as educators, you are expected to be a role models for your students, and that you should treat all the students with respect. This will help encourage students to treat each other with respect and dignity as well, according to intercultural research and training, that cultural diversity is a source of richness and a catalyst of processes of creativity and innovation. This may be because different individuals bring into the group resources, knowledge, and skills that are uniquely their own. This variety of resources coming from the different individuals may be harnessed for the advantage of the group or to serve its specific purpose. For example, in your classroom, you may have observed how diversity among members of group may lead to quality projects as a result of their teamwork and collaborative effort. Each member contributes his or her own unique knowledge, skill, and talents towards the successful completion of the task on hand. One may be skilled at data gathering, another at doing illustrations, another may be adept at presenting the results of the study, and so on. And that would be all. Thank you.